the Tardigrade. Please tell me about an action you're taking for a brighter, greener future for our planet.
Hi Tardigrade, my name's Vicky and I use reusable sanitary products instead of the disposable ones full of chemicals.
Washing my utensils before recycling them.
I pick up my litter and I'm 14 years old. I litter pick in my community. I also recycle as much as I possibly can.
I pick up litter and grow things in my garden for the environment, and I put things in the bin.
I walk home every day from school, well mostly every day anyway, because I just walk home instead of using a car or a bus. When we place soup kitchens in the garden, we use water from the water pot instead of getting clean water from the tap. Hello, my name is Bonnie, and to help the planet I like to look for things at the charity shops and do them up and have them in the house instead of buying new.
When I leave a room, I always turn a light off. I never leave a light on. I went on my bike to school instead of going in the car or van.
Very generic. I recycle as much as I can, but would like to do more.
Hi, I'm the Tardigrade. Please tell me about an action you're taking for a brighter, greener future for our planet.
I like to try and cut down on waste plastic by refilling containers when I can.
My company at the minute that I work with is an engineering company that is trying to work on making our national grid much more efficient, so as we can really increase the uptake of like electric vehicles and stuff like that. And also in my personal life, I'm trying better to be a conscious consumer. Having a very nice time. Thank you so much. This has been lovely.
Hello, I'm Linus, and whenever possible, I'll get the train rather than drive somewhere, especially if I'm on my own.
I recycle as much as I can.
I am doing the recycling at Glastonbury Festival.
Buying less and trying to do more second-hand and charity shop and not buy anything new unless absolutely necessary.
My name's Carol and I repair my clothes instead of throwing them away.
Jodie, I'm going to share what I read and what I hear with my friends. I'm going to post on books to all my friends that I think would like to hear more about fungi and moss and lichens and share the joy.
Take the train when I go abroad instead of flying long distances.
Hi, my name is Bruce and I do litter picking.
Hello, I'm Sally. I've just taken lots of things from a hoarder's house because she died, and I've put them in charity shops and the scrap store and all over the place and made them useful.
Hi, I'm the Tardigrade. Please tell me about an action you're taking for a brighter, greener future for our planet.
Hi, my name is Lerin and I'm going to stop using my washing machine when it's raining to stop overloading the sewage system.
If I have moss in my garden, I'm going to water it in a really hot day.
I have changed things that I sell in my health food shop so that I have less products that are one-use plastic.
I will eat healthy snacks.
I'm working with the construction industry to provide greener, sustainable buildings for the future.
Walking and using my bike and using public transport, and I donate to world animal organisations.
I'm singing about different ideas with people that I work with. We're thinking about what little things we can do to make a difference through songs. I'm also planting lots of things that feed the bees at home, and we've spread some wildflower seeds around our site where we're working as well.
When I was at preschool, I planted sunflowers. It was really fun. I got to plant 2.
I volunteer for the community fridge, reducing carbon waste footprint and helping the community.
Making sure to turn the heating off from April to October.
I'm a structural engineer, and so I design arch buildings which are traditionally made of steel and concrete and have quite big environmental footprints. So I've positioned myself intently in an industry with high impact to try and make a bigger change by designing more sustainable, economic and circular structures.
I'm a leader with Scouts, and I inspire our young children to have a better future and to understand why they need to do what they do. And we do litter picks all the time.
I would like to dedicate a lot more of my time to achieving net zero, and I really want to leave no waste to Glastonbury 2025 in order to do so.
We are not taking as much car travel, and we are taking more public transport, such as train.
I'm walking.
Exactly. Thank you.
Hi, I'm the Tardigrade. Please tell me about an action you're taking for a brighter, greener future for our planet.
Helping my organisation achieve net zero by 2050.
I've got an electric vehicle and I've got an air source heat pump.
When I was at preschool, I planted sunflowers. It was really fun. I got to plant 2.
To work from home more, so avoiding time and money and petrol and miles on the road, so less of an environmental impact.
Cycling almost every day instead of taking public transport and other forms of transport.
Trying to turn waste into new usable materials.
Volunteering at a local children's hospital, because children are the future and I just can't wait for them to grow up and live in the amazing world that I live in, and I'm really excited.
What I do for a better world. I try to be positive, share a smile whenever I can, be kind to everyone around me, especially my friends, but also people that I don't know, and be hopeful.
I am helping children to use creativity to change the world.
Hi, I'm the Tardigrade. Please tell me about an action you're taking for a brighter, greener future for our planet.
So I am making sure that I use more sustainable items. So I stopped using shampoo bottles and getting shampoo that way and shower gel and things like that. And instead now I buy the soap bars that are environmentally friendly, so that then all of that just isn't going into landfill or going into places where it can't be recycled. Okay, have a lovely day, bye.
The action I'm taking for a brighter, greener future is that I'm taking part in the repeat series of workshops, and I'm currently being photographed holding the Tardigrade phone, which can only be good for the environment.
I enjoy making my food last a few days, so I cook something the first day, and then the leftovers I turn into something else, and then the third day I might eat it in a different way, and then the fourth day, if there's anything left over, I might put it on the compost and let it rot down and make soil.
Well, we're giving out coffees and teas here at the Dartmoor Nature Day, and one of the ways we're being more sustainable is by using physical mugs. Like this way, you don't have any throwaway mugs, and it prevents these from ending up, in dumps or in the environment at all. We're the First at Campton Scout group, and we help out here every year, and this is one of the best ways we help out. Thank you.
Hi, I'm the Tardigrade. Please tell me about an action you're taking for a brighter, greener future for our planet.
Hi Tardigrade, I'm Jenny, and this morning I got up early so I could hang my washing out on the line because it's a lovely sunny day and I want to make the use of the sun's energy to dry my washing rather than using the tumble dryer. Bye!
I'm going to continue with repairing the boundaries on Dartmoor for the preservation of the historical features and also to prepare for the future. And I moved to Dartmoor 5 years ago, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life on there helping conserve and preserve and restore every boundary and every type of boundary that I can find. Wish me luck.
I recycle plastic. That's all Tardigrade. Hello Tardigrade. I'm watering the blueberry bush at home with rainwater. And I want to pick up rubbish from the water and then put it into a bin.
I use a reusable water bottle instead of using plastic, and I always recycle.
I'm trying to reduce my meat consumption and try not to overconsume, I think, in terms of fashion. Buy second-hand, eat less meat, and just do my bit. Like, small changes make a lot of difference.
Volunteering at an outward bound centre.
I always encourage my family to recycle, and I always throw away my rubbish when I need it, and we recycle our shopping bags so that we don't have to use as much plastic when we're shopping.
Using less plastic water bottles.
I am really cutting down on my single-use plastics, and I've been very conscious about clothes I buy and making sure that I check Vinted and use like charities, and just being very conscious about things I buy as well. Have a good day.
I've gone plastic free.
Direct action climate groups and talking to my MP about doing things like fighting the Heathrow expansion.
I cycle everywhere around London, and it's the best way of getting around, and I also am very good at not making any food waste, and I'm very good at recycling. I always clean and dry my recycling, and I recycle my soft plastics by taking them to the local supermarket.
Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. In the bush, the cricket singing, Upton Heath. Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. Sundry scarlet shouting out, Upton Heath. Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. Dashing dragonflies are chattering, Upton Heath. Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. Butterflies are fluttered down low, urban peat beneath our feet. Sphagnum moss in a squelchy sheet. Crunchy gravel, smooth soft sand.
Peat Fest will host loads of youth-focused events. A festival brought to you by the Art and Energy Collective all over the southwest of England that will celebrate the strength and beauty of peatlands. We will come together to share knowledge and raise awareness about these landscapes, making us better equipped to live with them, restore and care for them going forward.
Do you know what peat is? You can say you don't know. I don't actually know what peat is. The only time that I've seen it referenced is peat-free compost.
I don't know what peat is.
So I think peat it's something that's growing from the ground. I imagine it being quite soggy and wet, but I'm not quite sure. Like, I imagine finding peat up in the moors, like around like the rock, like if it's been raining loads and finding it there, that's the type of thing I imagine peat to be.
I think it's degraded sphagnum moss that's broken down and can last there for thousands of years as long as it remains wet.
So peat is partially decomposed organic matter, and what I mean by that is if you think about your compost heap at home and a banana skin that still stays around in it, that's a little bit like what peat is. It forms under really special conditions, and here in the southwest it's normally formed from partially decomposed, so partially broken down sphagnum mosses and other vegetation that you'll find in a bog. Peatlands are really specialised habitats, and because of this they have lots of different species growing there that you don't really find anywhere else. They're quite acidic. Peatlands are a huge carbon store, locking up all the carbon from the vegetation that was growing in them throughout its life. When they're wet and squidgy, they lock this carbon away for thousands of years, with the peat getting deeper and more carbon being stored through the years.
What is unique about peatlands?
What isn't unique about peat? Peat is
wet, peat is moist, peat is exciting, peat is queer, peat is dark, peat is hundreds of thousands of years old, and peat is also new and undiscovered. Peat is important because it is currently something that we don't understand, or general consciousness doesn't understand or interact with in a way that cares for the land in the way that we should. Currently we've been destroying peat because of turfing practices, but actually if we learn how to live with peat, we can go back to a symbiotic relationship that is resilient to climate change.
The Southwest isn't really renowned for peat. Overall, I think people don't really get the whole region as being quite significant for its pockets of peat. In Somerset, there's the Fens. In Dorset, there are little peat pockets among the heathlands that are really significant and beautiful. And then there's peatlands in and around Exmoor and Dartmoor and Cornwall. So very varied region. So much to show and share and celebrate.
Hi, I'm the Tardigrade. Please tell me about an action you're taking for a brighter, greener future for our planet.
Just about to move into a new home, and I want to start growing my own moss so I can try and grow some more tardigrades at home, because they're amazing creatures and the most resilient in the world.
We use cloth nappies for our little ones.
I have an electric car, which I hope that will bring the emissions down.
I design architecture that is not only for people, but serves the environment and the people and the spaces around it.
I am working with the Art and Energy Collective, and that is a lot of fun, making art for a better world.
I have lots of dead wood in the garden, and I leave my moss, and I'm growing lots of vegetables without any pesticides. Yay!
Me and my friend went to the beach, and at the sea we saw some rubbish in it, so we picked it up.
I'm already vegetarian and I already recycle, and well, I'm encouraging my girlfriend to recycle, so...
I'm growing new plants and wildlife to make the world a better place.
And I try and recycle where possible. And I promise I won't do too much online shopping, and will share clothes with my friends. Thank you.
Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. In the bush, the cricket singing, Upton Heath. Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. Sundew scarlet shouting out, Upton Heath. Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. Dashing dragonflies are chattering, Upton Heath. Walking slow, listening for nature as we go. Butterflies are flutter down low, urban peat beneath our feet. Sphagnum moss in a squelchy sheet.
Crunchy gravel, smooth, soft sand.
Yeah.
This is how Beyonce.